Sometimes we feel less valuable than we truly are, because others make us feel this way, and we stay silent as if it's normal. But within you, there is a power, and that power never truly disappears. It only gets forgotten. This video is here to remind you of that power. If you recognize even one of these 13 signs within yourself, it might mean you're underestimating your own worth, and it's time to change that. So what are these signs? Throughout the video, I'll go through each of them, one by one. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share this message with others. Because self-worth begins with you. Sign number 1. You constantly prioritize others' opinions over your own. You make a decision, but someone disapproves and you immediately change your mind. Because for some reason your own opinion doesn't feel strong enough. As if what others say is always more valid. It may seem like you're just being quiet, but within that silence you're slowly disappearing. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "We can only control our own choices and reactions. The opinions of others are not under our control." But what do we do instead? We sacrifice our most valuable asset, our freedom of choice, just to please others. What will my friends think? Will my family approve? How will people see me? These questions should not be guiding your life. Living with them is like handing over the control of your life to someone else. Remember, trying to please everyone is like dividing your soul into pieces, and in the end you're left with nothing. Sometimes all it takes to make a decision is to listen to your own inner voice, because no one else can live your life for you. If this is how you're living today, if you're constantly wondering what others will think, this isn't just shyness, this is self-suppression. Ask yourself, when was the last time I made a decision simply because I wanted to? If you struggle to find an answer, then it's time for a change. Because living by someone else's opinion is a silent way to burn out. Sign number 2, you downplay your achievements and call them luck. Maybe you got accepted into university, successfully completed a work project, or survived a tough period in life. But what happened next? When someone praised you, you smiled and said, "Oh, it's nothing. Just got lucky." The truth is you were afraid to acknowledge your own strength. Because if you did, it would come with responsibility. You'd have to know yourself better, aim higher. And sometimes people are more afraid of their potential than their failures. The Stoics said, as long as a person doesn't know their own worth, they will constantly crave others' approval. But you can change this. Minimizing your success doesn't make you humble. It shows you haven't fully accepted yourself. Pretending to be incapable only brings you temporary relief, because then no one expects anything more from you. But hiding your potential won't help you escape expectations. Most importantly, you can't escape your own expectations. There's a version of you inside who is capable of much more. And every time you belittle your success, that version quietly retreats. Sometimes we try to prove ourselves to others, but the only person we truly need to prove anything to is ourselves. Ask yourself, why do I make my success seem like a favor or a stroke of luck? The answer is simple. Because you're still afraid to fully believe in your own power. Remember, success is not an accident. Success is falling again and again, and getting up again and again. You earned that success. Own it, respect it. Only then will others respect it too. Sign number 3, you tolerate disrespect from others. What do you feel toward those who ignore you, interrupt you, or only remember you when they need something? Maybe you've gotten used to it, so much so that you no longer even see it as disrespect. You call it patience. You say, let it be, maybe things will improve. But deep down you feel bored, frustrated, and drained. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be patient and understanding, but never to tolerate injustice toward ourselves. Seneca once said, "A wise person stays away from harmful friends." Friendship is not a battlefield, it's a shelter. If someone's behavior constantly disturbs you, hurts you, or makes you doubt yourself, that relationship isn't helping you grow. It's breaking you down. Don't try to be seen by those who refuse to see you. Don't stay silent for those who refuse to listen. Those who make you feel worthless do not belong in the main chapters of your life. Being patient does not mean being quiet. Sometimes the strongest move is to walk away. A person who doesn't know their worth endures disrespect and calls it kindness. But kindness is not forgetting yourself. On the contrary, true kindness is setting boundaries, knowing how close someone should be allowed to get. Ask yourself, what do I gain by tolerating this person? And more importantly, what am I losing? Sometimes giving space to someone through silence means pushing away your inner peace. In reality, you're only tolerating one thing, forgetting yourself. Enough is enough. You don't have to stay quiet. You must learn to stand up for yourself, because you too deserve respect. Not just from others, but first and foremost from yourself. Sign metaphor, hurting yourself in the name of forgiveness is a sign of low self-worth. For example, someone hurt you. You trusted, opened up, smiled, then they went silent, walked away, broke you. And what did you do? You went back again, tried to forget the past again, and said once more, I forgive you, because you're kind, because you want peace, because you don't want to live in anger. But sometimes in the name of forgiveness, you quietly fall apart inside. Sometimes you forgive, but they don't change. The same words, the same behaviors, the same wounds. This is no longer forgiveness. This is abandoning yourself in silence. Epictetus said, everything happens with your permission. The one who hurts or disrespects you only has as much power as you allow. Each time you forgive someone, ask yourself, has this person really changed, or am I just preparing myself to feel the same pain again? If they haven't changed, if they're going to hurt you the same way again, this is not forgiveness. It's harm. Forgiveness is meant to set you free. You forgive so you don't carry the weight inside you. But that doesn't mean you have to continue carrying that person in your life. Because forgiveness is opening a door. But some people don't deserve to walk through your door. They deserve to walk out of your life. Now ask yourself, just because I forgive them, does that mean they value me? You're the one gluing back the mirror they shattered. But did they ever even say, I'm sorry? Remember, just as the heart craves peace, it also needs boundaries. Forgiving the past doesn't mean handing over the future. Forgiving someone doesn't mean continuing as if nothing happened. It simply means opening a path to peace within yourself. But silently allowing yourself to be hurt again, that's not selflessness. That's self-loss. Sometimes the greatest act of forgiveness is freeing yourself from the cycle. It's not about showing mercy to the one who hurt you. It's about staying loyal to your own worth. Sign number 5, feeling guilty after doing good for others. You help someone, you make things easier, spend your time, listen, offer support. But afterward, a strange feeling creeps in, as if you're ashamed for doing too much. Even though you didn't expect anything in return, you somehow feel indebted. But why? Where does this come from? This is a sign that you haven't fully understood your own value. Because someone who knows their worth feels lighter when they give, but someone who doesn't feels like they shrink with every act of kindness. The Stoics said, the best help is the one offered with free will. If you feel discomfort after giving, it's not kindness. It's a reflection of your own inner insecurity. Sometimes after helping, you ask yourself, maybe it wasn't necessary. But those questions don't belong to you. If your intention was pure, if your kindness came from the heart, then you have no reason to feel guilty. But if after every kind act, the other person never treats you with gratitude, and you instantly think, I wish I hadn't done that, then that's a wound inside you. Remember, kindness is not done for returns, but kindness also doesn't mean self-sacrifice. Giving repeatedly to those who don't value what you offer cheapens the value of your love, your time, your attention, your understanding. These are precious treasures. And every treasure should only be given to those who recognize its worth. Never feel guilty for offering someone a kind gesture. On the contrary, feel proud of yourself, because you were not born to hide your light. You were born to leave a mark on this world. Sign number 6, struggling to accept compliments. That outfit looks great on you. Oh, it's just an old thing. You spoke so well. I didn't say anything special, just a few words. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's as if every compliment makes you uneasy, as if being seen, appreciated, or valued feels too heavy, and you immediately try to shrink yourself, as if there's a quiet voice inside saying, "This praise isn't for me. I don't deserve it." This isn't just a modest response. This is the voice of a heart that hasn't fully accepted its own worth. The Stoic said, "One who does not know their worth cannot carry the respect of others." So that discomfort you feel when someone compliments you is really your struggle to accept your own strength. If you can't carry even a small compliment, it means your opinion of yourself is still more negative than what others think of you. And that must change. A compliment is a mirror, and if you can't see yourself in it, is the mirror the problem? Or is it your own perspective? Now ask yourself, why do I immediately go on the defensive when I hear something kind? Why do I explain myself instead of simply accepting it? Accepting praise means saying to yourself, "Yes, I am worthy of this." And that's not arrogance, that's seeing yourself clearly. If you constantly reject compliments, downplay your work, beauty, or sincerity, people will stop showing you open appreciation and instead value you in silence. Just accept the compliment, smile, say thank you, because you are worthy of it, not just because of your clothes or your words, but because of who you are. Sign number 7, you always say, "I'm sorry," even when it's not your fault. You walk into a room, someone seems upset. You stay quiet, but a voice in your head whispers, "Did I do something wrong?" You simply express your thoughts, but someone doesn't smile in return. And you immediately say, "Sorry, I didn't mean it like that." It's like a reflex now, as if you're apologizing for simply existing. But this isn't just politeness. This is the silent cry of a soul trained to diminish itself. If someone always believes they're at fault, eventually, they begin to see their entire existence as a burden. I think I talk too much. Maybe I should just stay quiet. Maybe I don't even belong here. But the truth is, you didn't do anything wrong. You've just gotten so used to putting everyone before yourself that even when people respect you, it still makes you uncomfortable. Stoic philosophy says, if your mind and conscience are at peace, you don't need to change because of others' reactions. True politeness isn't about staying quiet. It's about protecting your voice without hurting others. But if you constantly apologize for your place, your words, your emotions, that's not politeness, it's self-erasure. And it slowly turns you into a stranger to yourself. Ask yourself, when was the last time I said something wholeheartedly and stood by it? Or does fear pull you back every time you take a step forward? Apologizing may fix a relationship, but apologizing constantly breaks you. Because each time you say it unnecessarily, you bend a little more, you shrink a little further, you drift a little farther from your true self. Saying no, standing your ground, staying calm, that too is a form of power. And that power exists within you. You've just buried it beneath years of saying, "I'm sorry." But that's enough now. You are not obligated to weather storms inside you just so others feel comfortable. Your voice matters. Your existence is enough. You are here. And you owe no one an explanation for your presence. Sign number 8. Even after success, you still don't believe in yourself. You've reached your goal. After a long journey, victory is finally yours. But inside, there's an odd emptiness. A voice says, maybe it was just luck. Maybe I was just fortunate. Maybe I'm not actually that smart or capable. These thoughts eat away at you from the inside. This is your attempt to escape the responsibility that comes with success. It's unfair to the effort you've put in, to your pain, your endurance, your sleepless nights. You didn't get here by chance. You got here through willpower, persistence, and by moving forward when others gave up. You fell, but you stood up again. Even when no one understood you, you stayed true to your path. This victory isn't just an outcome. It's the embodiment of your inner strength. The Stoics taught that one should never doubt their own success, because victory is simply your inner power made visible. If success makes you feel small, it's because you're measuring yourself by the outcome, instead of how much you've grown through the journey. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It's not the victory itself, but the path you walk to get there that shapes you. If you've walked that path, then you are already worthy. And tying that worth to randomness or luck is just running away from your own power." Now pause and ask yourself, if I've already succeeded and still don't believe in myself, then when will I? Maybe the strength you've searched for all your life is in the eyes staring back at you in the mirror, but you just haven't had the courage to really look. Now is the time to find that courage, because you've already proven yourself. Now it's time to own who you are. Accept your victory and awaken the leader within. Sign number 9, you constantly put your own needs second. If you're always prioritizing others over yourself, one day you'll burn out. It's beautiful to embrace everyone, but if you never embrace yourself, your warmth leaves you, flows to others, and you're left freezing. You listen to people's pain, you care about their struggles, you make time for their plans. But what about you? When do you get to be heard? When do you get held? When do you get to say, "I'm here too"? You can't pour from an empty cup. Trying to quench others' thirst while constantly dehydrating yourself is not sustainable. Eventually, either you break, or those who never appreciated what you gave will walk away. This is life's bitter truth. People are often only around for as long as you can give them something. And if you burn yourself just to keep others warm, there will come a time when only ashes remain, and no one wants to stand in the ashes. Stoic philosophy teaches us that inner balance must come first. Epictetus said, "A person must care for their soul first. Only when the soul is strong can one be of use to others." That doesn't mean ignoring others. It means you must also hear, see, and honor your own needs. If you're spiritually empty, mentally exhausted, and physically drained, your sacrifices won't be effective. Sacrifice is not about self-erasure, it's about balance. Sometimes taking one step back is the only way to move forward. Sometimes saying no is the only way to protect your inner yes. And sometimes taking a single day to rest is the foundation of years of strength ahead. Don't be afraid. Loving yourself is not selfish. Choosing yourself is not abandoning others. It simply means living your own life. If you're constantly sacrificing your values for the comfort of others, you'll eventually forget your own worth. And in the end, even if others are happy, you'll be living a dim, muted version of your own life. But this life is your life too. You deserve happiness. You deserve to be heard, to be valued, to breathe in peace. And remember, the greatest responsibility you have is toward yourself. If you protect yourself, you'll become a solid pillar for others too. And then your love, your gifts, your sacrifices will never be in vain. Because this time you're giving without disappearing. Sign number 10. You stay silent when you're unsure, and it costs you. Sometimes a question spins in your mind. You search for answers inside, but your lips stay sealed. You hold your breath because you're afraid of the answer. Maybe the answer will hurt. Maybe it'll reveal a truth you've long avoided. But remember, silence is more dangerous than hearing the wrong answer. So when you stay silent in moments of uncertainty, that's a sign you're not valuing yourself enough. Because answers move you forward. Answers can close doors, but they also open new ones. Answers may break you, but from those pieces, a stronger you is born. Silence, on the other hand, keeps you stuck. In the dark, in doubt, in hesitation. Asking questions is an act of courage, and the Stoics praise that courage. Seneca said, "True wisdom is the reward of those who are not afraid to ask." If you don't ask, you won't know. If you don't speak, you won't be understood. If you don't express yourself, no one can truly see what you need. Remaining silent when uncertain is choking your self-confidence. It's a quiet way of devaluing your thoughts, But the moment you ask, growth begins. To ask is to say, I want to learn. I exist. I choose freedom. Yes, people might hurt us with the wrong answers. Yes, sometimes we won't like what we hear. But that's still better than not knowing. Truth, even when it stings, purifies. But silence slowly rots the soul. Think about it. Why do you belittle yourself so much that you fear asking a question? Your thoughts, your feelings, your uncertainties, they matter. No one can read your mind. If you don't speak, they won't understand you. If you don't ask, clarity won't come. Silencing yourself only amplifies the voice of others. But if you want your own voice to matter, you must overcome the silence first. Because transformation begins with questioning. Sometimes one sentence can change your entire life. But that sentence must come from you. If not now, when will you speak? When will you ask? When will you express who you are? Trying to please everyone is not a sign of good character. You smile so that people will like you. You agree because you fear rejection. Sometimes you even bow to opinions you don't agree with. Sometimes you say yes when you want to say no, just so others don't change their attitude towards you. This behavior doesn't mean you're weak, but often it is the 11th sign that you don't like yourself, that you don't truly see your own worth. It's as if others' approval defines your value. Because you don't accept yourself, you shift that burden onto others. If they like you, then maybe you'll like yourself a little too. But this is a dangerous path, because other people's opinions are unstable. You might be their favorite friend today, but tomorrow those same people could leave you coldly. Seneca said, "He who wants to be everyone's friend will be no one's friend." Because such people lose their true identity. You keep changing yourself to please everyone, until one day you won't even recognize yourself. Stoic philosophy calls us not to seek others' approval, but to stay true to our principles. Epictetus said, "If you live for the approval of others, your soul will never be free." Sometimes saying no is the greatest courage. Sometimes openly sharing your opinion is an act of self-love. Sometimes allowing others to be displeased with you is a way of honoring yourself, because you are not here for everyone. You were not made to please everyone. And that is beautiful, because you are valuable for your originality, your truth, your inner voice. If you love yourself, you no longer depend on everyone else's love. And the interesting thing is, the more you like yourself, the more you protect your true identity, the more people will genuinely start to love you. Because people are drawn to sincerity, honesty, and inner strength. Unfortunately, many realize this only at the end of the road. So today, decide. Stop trying to please everyone. You owe an account to your conscience, not to everyone. As you find peace inside, the noise outside will lose its meaning. Hiding your true potential is the 12th sign of not valuing yourself. Sometimes you don't show what you can do. You hold yourself back. It's like a fire burning inside, but you cover it with a blanket so no one can see, so no one can know. Because shining means drawing attention. And attention means judgment, jealousy, responsibility, criticism. You try to be like everyone else so you won't stand out. Because standing out requires courage. Standing out risks loneliness. And maybe you fear that loneliness. But remember, your light is not meant to be someone else's shadow. Your talent is not for silence, but for speaking out. Your skills are not for hiding, but for creating, inspiring, and changing. The Stoics always saw revealing one's potential as a duty. Marcus Aurelius said, "If nature has given you a power, to not use it is an injustice to that power. If there is a sparkle inside you and you suppress it, you not only keep yourself in darkness, but also those around you." There are people who need your voice. People who need your ideas, your creations, your energy. But the more you hide, the more lost these people become. Sometimes they will say to you, "You're too ambitious. You show off too much. Don't be so strong, you might crush others." But you must know, these words come from people who have lost their own inner light, and they want to put out someone else's light as well. Don't fall into that trap. The more you stay silent, the more your abilities wither. The more you fear, the more your mind shrinks. Every time you step back, the world loses the beauty only you can bring. Don't shrink yourself so others can feel comfortable. Don't put out your light so those used to darkness won't feel uneasy. Shine. Shine so others can find their own way. The more you shine, don't fear being alone. True people will recognize true light. Finally, sign 13. You feel comfortable only when others accept you not as you are, but as they want you to be. You silence the real you inside. You smile not how you truly smile, but how they want you to smile. You filter your thoughts before speaking. Will they be offended? Will I sound strange? Will they accept me as I am? In this way, you create an actor inside you. That you on stage is no longer the real you. You gradually drift away from your true self, because you feel safer only when people accept you as they want. But that is not freedom. That is hiding. That is betraying yourself. Because when you change yourself to gain others' approval, you're no longer living your own life. You're playing a role they wrote for you. This is not adaptation. This is gradually losing yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches that a person's main duty is to live according to their nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The greatest tragedy is living against your own nature." So what is your nature? Which voice inside have you silenced? Why has it become so important how others accept you? If your existence is only valuable when it fits others' standards, then you are not a true person, you are a model. But you didn't come to be a model. You came to live. The more you love yourself, the less you depend on others' love. The more you accept yourself, the less others' opinions shake you. The more you express yourself, the firmer your place in life becomes. Yes, people sometimes want to love you only within the boundaries of their comfort. When you're quiet, they call you wise. When you're silent, they say you have a calm nature. But when you speak, show yourself, be your true self, they get uneasy. And so you slowly silence yourself so they won't be disturbed. Eventually, inside you grows not a personality, but a collection of masks. If you continue on this path, one day you will look in the mirror and not recognize yourself. And that is the most painful part of life. Everyone loves you, but you don't love yourself. So stop now, take off the mask, dare to be yourself. Those who truly love you will love your real self. The rest were only spectators. Value is not a medal given from outside. Value is the worth you give yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches us that freedom, power, and value begin within. If you saw yourself in this video, it's time to change. Don't wait any longer. You've waited long enough. Remember, a person who doesn't recognize their own worth feels emptiness inside, no matter how much success they achieve in the world. If this video touched your soul, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with friends who are beginning to value themselves. Because value grows when it's shared,